Hello everyone, this is Lacey Loo's second adventure, Lacey Loo and the Lost Penguin, and you can get this at Little Acorns bookstore here in Derry or online, or if you want copies from myself I can get you copies too. So I'm going to do a wee reading of it now and I hope all your wee ones enjoy it. One morning, Lacey Loo awoke to a strange sound. She knew this sound was an animal sound, but wasn't quite sure what type of animal. Lacey Loo had many animal friends in the North Pole, and she knew the sound of Bertie the polar bear, Albert the walrus, and of course Rudolph the reindeer. All of their voices she could recognise. However, this sound was squawky and kinda raspy. The sound was coming from under her window. She slowly crept up to the window to take a peek, and to her surprise saw a black and white figure that oddly looked like a penguin. On closer inspection, she saw it had a shiny black and orange beak, and its white tummy had a yellow hue at the top. It was definitely a penguin. Lacey Loo opened her window and said, "Excuse me, I think you belong in the South Pole, don't you?" She knew the penguins lived in the South Pole, which was the other side of the world, and it would take an awful long time to get to the North Pole from there. The little penguin muttered quietly, "Yes, I do." He appeared shaken and scared, so Lacey Loo quickly got herself dressed and went outside. "Hello, my name is Lacey Loo, and I'm one of Santa's elves. What's your name?" The little penguin answered back, "My name is Daniel the penguin, and I do live at the South Pole." Lacey Loo then asked, "Are you lost?" Daniel replied, "Yes." She could see his eyes fill with tears, so she gently placed her arm around him and asked, "How did you get here?" It was then that Daniel began telling Lacey Loo that he was eating dinner with his family when his mother called to him and his brothers and sisters and told them to go outside and see the shooting stars. Daniel had always wanted to go to the North Pole, so he silently made a wish that he could go there. Daniel said, "I went to bed as usual, and when I woke up I was on top of an iceberg that drifted to here. I never thought my wish would come true." Lacey Loo was not at all surprised, you see. The North Pole is filled with magic, and to one of Santa's little elves, it was not at all unusual that Daniel's wish had come true. It certainly did if you wished hard enough on a shooting star. Lacey Loo explained to a confused Daniel how things worked in the North Pole, and how the impossible was indeed possible. Lacey Loo tried to take Daniel's mind off everything and introduced him to all her friends. She showed him Santa's workshop and how the elves made all of the toys for all of the children around the world. Daniel was in awe and quite excited. Over some hot chocolate, Lacey Loo asked, "So Daniel, tell me about your home and your family." Daniel answered, "I have one brother and two sisters and my mummy and daddy. My mummy and daddy are very kind and always make sure I'm taken care of, and I have a lot of fun with my brothers and sisters. My home is very beautiful. Right outside our front door are the icebergs that float like little islands in the sea. My friends and I often play jumping from one to another." As Daniel talked about home, Lacey Loo could tell that he missed his family and friends. Lacey Loo asked Daniel, "Do you want to go back?" He looked right at her with anxious eyes and said, "Can you help me?" Lacey Loo knew that her magic elf dust would take him back home, although it would most definitely take a lot, as the South Pole was so far away. Lacey Lou answered, "Yes, I can." Lacey Lou was so sad to see her new friend go, but also knew that he had a lot of family and friends that must miss him and would be worried. So she gave him a big hug and a little kiss on his beak and told him to think of home. Daniel hugged Lacey Lou tightly and said, "I now have a special friend on the other side of the world. Thank you so much." Lacey Lou smiled and sprinkled her elf dust over Daniel's little head, and just like that he was gone. Lacey Lou had never met a penguin before, and now she had one she could call a friend. The end. Well, boys and girls, I hope you all enjoyed that, and it might make you sleep a little bit easier tonight. Thank you for watching.